option.
Yeah.
It's not an option, because once you start doing that, you will keep doing that without stopping. If you decide to leave something without finishing it, you go to something and not finish.
Exactly.
So I told myself, you started this, you will finish.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter when, how, but you're gonna push until you get there. Okay. And then I registered the subject, I passed the subject. There was a time where I needed to do an in-service training, because in IT you don't graduate without having to do a training, so that they can be able to check and see how you've learned from school.
Does it take 6 months or a year?
According to, it's 6 months.
Yeah, because even with mine, I had to do an in-service training for 6 months before graduating. So
yeah, so I was left with one subject, which was in-service training. Then I started applying for in-service training. Before registering, you need to get it first. Go with the letter. You remember when I showed you that letter that I received, the letter to start applying for internship. So you cannot register a subject without submitting contracts from your employee and everything. So before registering that subject, after registering the subject, after when I got the contracts and everything, I received an email from TUT telling me that I've been excluded for 2 years. It didn't make sense, because I've registered and already I'm under their database as a student of that year. So they told me I'm excluded for 2 years. It doesn't matter if you have received your results, because I was waiting for the results for the previous years, because they came late. I think it was due to, I don't know, it was due to what. So we received those results. I passed, but still I received. They say it doesn't matter. Those ones, you remain excluded. So I received that email. It was around 1 a.m. in the morning, because I usually do my own things in the morning. I'm very much productive during that time, early mornings, 1 a.m. So I was busy designing something on my laptop, and I decided to check on my emails, because and then I checked, I got an email, support exclusion. And then I opened that email. By the way, I have my proof of registration with me. I've registered a subject for in-service training. I'm receiving an email that I've been excluded. So it was a bit confusing. I didn't understand
what's what exactly.
What's what?
How am I registered and at the same time I'm excluded?
Yes. And then that morning I texted this guy from home. He's a DA politician, explaining to, like, I sent him that document. I downloaded it from my email and I sent it to him on WhatsApp. And then I asked him, how is it possible? I said, is it possible for someone to register after being excluded? He was like, no, it's not possible. If you're excluded, that means you have to serve that 2 years, and then you come back and register the other year. And then I was like, but no, I registered. I showed him my proof of registration, that I'm registered, I'm a student at TUT. He was like, if you are registered, it means you're not excluded. Yet I received this email from TUT for 2 times saying the same thing. So it didn't make sense to me. Yeah. How is it possible that I get excluded for 2 years, and then yet I am a registered student of TUT?
Confusing. Yeah.
I started, that night I was crying, what's going to happen to me? What will I be doing for 2 years at home? Like, God, how will I even survive the 2 years and wait to come back and complete one subject, which was an in-service. So I got an internship in Rand Bank, where I was an intern in business analysis. I was a business analyst there. So after that, COVID-19 happened, which was March the 25th, and we had to go home and do this thing of working from home. And though it didn't work because the company happened to struggle financially, I think they had to close, and we didn't hear anything from them since then. And I needed a signature from them for me to be able to submit my final project and be given a qualification. So I submitted the final project on September, and then after that I emailed my professor, and I told him that I was working, but because of COVID-19, this is what happened. And it was like, I need from January to March. Tell him to sign from January to March so that you can be given your qualification. Rather than that, you'll have to fail the subject. So that stressed me, and I didn't know what to do. So I decided to let it go and just say I'm gonna do it some other time. And then on January, I received an email from TUT that I have passed my in-service training. I've passed that subject, therefore I'm a qualified, I'm a graduate. And then they told me the graduation date, which was the 7th of June. I couldn't
Imagine, guys.
I couldn't believe.
Wow, what a story. Wow.
And then on the 7th of June, I graduated. Though it was visual, but I thank God. Like, I'm grateful to God for keeping me through, for holding my hands where I was supposed to have given up, and I didn't. That day was...
Giving up is not an option.
No, it's not. It can never be one. It's not
never.
an option. It's not.
And you graduated. And guys, I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there, but you know what? Because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
But congrats.
Thank you so much.
How was the feeling knowing that you are graduating?
I couldn't explain it. Like I couldn't explain it. There was a song I dedicated that day.
Please sing it for us. A line at least. Just even a short line.
Sengiyabala Nkosi okuhle ungenzele kona. Okay.
No, continue. No, please continue.
Okay, it's Sengiyabala Nkosi by Lungelo Hlongwane. It goes like this. Don't mind my voice. Listen to the lyrics. Sengiyabala Nkosi okuhle ungenzele kona. Namuhla ngiyamangala uthando onalo ngami. So that's the song that I've been singing the whole day. Oh God, I'm counting from where I was supposed to have given up, from where I was supposed to have been excluded and go home, just be sitting at home. But I'm testifying that you love me so much to let me down. Oh God.
Please sing it again.
Can we move on?
Just that one line, please.
Sengiyabala Nkosi okuhle ungenzele kona. You wanted that?
Oh wow, guys, I'm still enjoying that. But, oh wow, that's amazing. Count your blessings.
One by one.
Count your blessings one by one. God will never take you from one point and leave you. The fact that at some point it looked like she's in the dark, it looked like things are just not going right. From the time of writing a test and getting a blackout sleeping while you're supposed to be writing, to a point where you're in service training, you couldn't continue work because of COVID, but the next thing you get that email that says you are graduating. It can only be God's grace. When God has set that table for you to say, my child, you will sit here, you will enjoy the fruits of your work, I'm telling you it's gonna happen. It will not, not even a person, not even someone who made sure that you won't actually graduate that day. Not even human. Like, what is impossible impossible with men, it's possible with God. If you can take that and if you can know that, you will know that you can conquer it all. You can achieve it all. There's God inside of us. He lives inside of us. He has set those purposes for us. He has a reason why we are on earth. And He will not leave you nor forsake you. He will always make sure that whatever that has to be done, your calling on this earth is going to happen. Whether it's through you educating others, whether it's through Melusi continue pursuing her career and still with that melodical voice, because she's an amazing, like she worships, and when she worships you can feel her presence. That is prayer on its own. That's why I wanted you to do it again, because I felt like God is in our midst right now and we need to invite Him all the time. We need to really allow Him to take over, and I feel like that's what God is doing to me right now. And I want you, Melusi, now to tell us a little bit about, you know, how the youth of today can really connect more with God, because I feel like a lot of people, a lot of young people, and this is not out of judgment but just in general, it's like we are seasonal in terms of having a relationship with God. We only connect with God when we have problems, when we are going through trials and everything. So can we really speak about the love of God and really being present, or allowing God to just be in our midst, whether in the good times and in the bad times? What can you say to that person who's, especially young people, because I think this day is all about us as young people. Well, I'm almost old, 34.
Okay, I'll start by saying this, that quoting Dr. Miles when he says that a tragedy in life is living a life without a purpose, which is to say that only God is a giver of purpose. So for us as youth to be able to fulfill the purpose that God has given us, the reason why we are here on earth, it is when we have a relationship with the source of purpose. Because without disconnecting ourselves from the source of purpose, it's not going to be easy. You will find it difficult to find out why you are here. That is why when he declares in the book of Isaiah 46 verse 10, he says, I declare the end in the beginning. Which means that when you decide and you take a step to have a relationship with God, God will show you where you are supposed to be in the beginning, so that He can take you through up until to the end. He says, I declare the end in the beginning. And I will make sure that my purpose is established in you. So for us as youth to be able to live a life that is purposeful, we need to go back to the source of purpose. We need to understand that without Him, we cannot be able to fulfill that which has been designed by God for us to fulfill. Okay, oh my God. A vision or a purpose is not our own. It is for God. And God wants to make sure that it is established in your life. And for that to happen, it cannot happen when we are disconnected from the source. So I advise the youth today to go back to the source of purpose in order for us to live a life that can bring the glory to God. For us to live a life that will be meaningful. For us to live a life of impact. Live a life of transformation. We cannot be able to do it. You can do it, but it's going to be a difficult thing to do. You need God. You need His direction. You need His Spirit, you need His word in order to fulfill, in order to get there, in order for Him to carry you through. There are things that we find along the way, there are situations, there are storms that we find, but without God, how are you going to go through that? You need God to take you through, because He is the one who has given you that, and He's the one who's going to make sure that He keeps it safe. He makes sure that He establishes it. I've declared it in the beginning.
Yes.
Therefore, I'm going to make sure that it is established. I'm going to make sure that it comes to pass. Vision gives a direction. Have a vision and be connected to God so that you can know where you are going. You know, vision allows you not to let anything in your path, because you already know where you are going. Therefore, you cannot let who and who in your way, because you understand that this is where I'm going, therefore this is not for my way. This is not for my way, therefore I cannot let that disturb where I'm going. I cannot let that disturb the woman that I am supposed to be. That is why, the reason why we are failing as youth is because we are living a life without a vision. A vision is supposed to be your map. It's supposed to give you a direction of where you are going, and with that you are able to even keep right people in your cycle. Right people, you're not gonna just put who and who because they speak good, because they've acquired this and that. It's because you know that these people are gonna help me to become the best version of myself. Therefore, I'm gonna let them in my way. I'm not gonna take.
Oh God!
So I want to encourage you, youth. Go back to the source. Go back to the giver of people of God. For you to know where you are going, for you to know why you are here, because there's a reason why you are here. You're not just here to eat pap. You're not here to work, go to sleep. You are here for a reason, and that reason has to go back and give glory to the source. So I'm gonna advise you, let's go back to the first love. Let's go back to the only person who cares about our purpose, who has given us a manual on how to use the purpose, on how to live this life in order for us to live a meaningful life, to impact, to transform, and to change somebody out there.
What do I say after that? What do I say after that, guys? Because honestly, everything that Melusi has said now, it touches deep, and it's mainly because we are lost. We are busy looking for what's ours. We're looking in the world. We're looking in the wrong places when we need to just return to God and really be centered, be rooted to His Word, because His Word says it all. His Word says it all. When you are troubled, when you feel like you are in a space of uncertainty, when you think of the Word of God, when you pray, when you call upon Him, each and every situation, you will be saved. You will be okay. And a lot is happening. Depression, anxiety. You know, you keep failing. You don't know what's happening, but you are struggling to return to the source. Melusi was saying just now, return to the source, return to your Maker, because He has it all under control.
Yes.
You just need to trust in Him. Melusi was able to give her life to God. And I remember when I got saved myself, I got to really connect more with God. There were, elements of judgment, element of weaknesses in my life, but when I got to find God, that's where I gathered my strength. Whatever that would happen around me, whether the great or the bad, I will know exactly how to remain strong and rooted, because the plans that He has for me are just on another level. I know that He is, meant to give me greatness. I know I deserve greatness, and I know that whatever that happens in my life, the good or the bad, actually everything happens. Whatever that happens, it happens for the good.
Yes.
Everything happens for the good. Whatever that happens, whatever situation you might find yourself in, know that there's a bigger purpose for all of that. Where you might find yourself in and thinking that is the end of the world. Whether you failed, I've failed a couple of times, but I never stopped believing that I can get to another level. Alright. Oh my word. This has been an amazing session with Melusi, my queen. Thank you so much. But before we end this, I think it's best we really talk about more things that really helps us going, which is, making money, progressing in life, and something that's common with me and Melusi. I've been saying the common things, like it's been a lot, eh? So she's a designer herself. She loves designs and she is doing amazing. Her work is amazing. I'll have a couple of pictures that you can see of the work that she does. Yes, you can call her my competitor because we almost do the same thing. But yeah, we inspire each other like that. And I think I want us to even do more. In a case of me not being able to do something, I can just push it over to her to do it because I trust her work. Her work is amazing. So tell us a little bit about, you know, your design, because I know that you started, you know, doing your business same like I did while you're still studying. How was that for you, and how were you able to make money from whatever skill that you've learned at school? And how can you also empower someone to use their skills to make the coin?
Okay, as she said, I love designing so much, and I started doing it while I was at school. So what I did, how I made money using designs, was that I started to design posters for churches and organizations which are found online on Facebook. I did one poster for Kanye Johnson, I remember, Minister Kanye Johnson, and then I took it on Facebook. People loved it, and I started to get referral for me to design posters for pastors, churches, organizations, companies, and that's when I could make some extra money because people loved my work, and I get a lot of people wanting me to design their stuff because they say my work is very clean, it's on point, so therefore why not?
And it is, guys. She is so on point, and I love even the strategy that she did in terms of marketing, because she saw a gap. I mean, the fact that she targeted churches and everything,
exactly.
That is like, I mean, imagine when it comes to a church, we know that there's always events happening. So that is the best, you know, idea that you came up with, because it's not only, you know, fulfilling for them and everything like that. The fact that they can take what you've done and refer you to someone else, it means that it's growth for what you're doing, you know. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Sorry to disturb you. Another thing, as you are pointing that, I'm reminded that the reason that kept me going designing for churches, I came to realize that for me to get the gospel out there, I don't need to be in pulpit, I don't need to be on a microphone, but I can use my hands, the hands that God has given me, and also the skills that God has given me, in order for me to help the ministries preach that gospel out there. Because a conference without a poster or anything, it's not easy to reach to people who are very far from you. So I decided to say this can help in preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ out there by designing a poster that's gonna make somebody to be born again, make somebody to want to attend that conference, make somebody to want to sit down and listen to whatever the speaker wants to say because of the beauty and the anointed poster.
I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. I mean, that's so true. That's so true. And it's very, like, I love the idea behind it, or the concept as to why she's doing it. Not only is she doing it because it's a form of business, but there's passion behind it. And she's also getting fulfilled by doing what she loves, because she knows that with that beauty, it will touch someone's life, and they can actually, you know, change things around by wanting to be a part of whatever that event, or is it a fellowship, a conference, or whatever it is. So with that said, guys, I think we have given you enough to really take in, to really you know, digest, because it's been amazing. It's been powerful. I think God has been doing amazing things right now. And earlier we were even talking, and then I think we were just in that level, and God was just talking to us, and unfortunately our camera cut off because the battery was just, you know, doing its things. The battery was flat, and right at that moment we really were in the level of, and there was something that I know you wanted to say, but you know, I don't think we can go back to that particular moment. But what we can tell you is that God is in our midst, and whatever that we're doing right now is not just to you know, promote what we do, or to just come here to add another video on my channel, but it's to really inspire you as a young person, not just a young person, even you as just a young adult, whatever. Just understand that your dreams are valid. You can become anything that you wish to become. It is possible. It is possible. So I don't know, any last words from you?
Okay, my last words will be RealFam, is that God wants you to succeed so bad. It is in his heart to see you succeeding. That's why when we check in the book of Genesis, he says he wants us to dominate. He wants us to rule. He wants us to reign on earth. He wants us to succeed and have all these things and enjoy life. So I want to encourage you that even in that process that you are in, God wants you to succeed. Even in whatever that you are doing, even if it doesn't make sense, God wants you to succeed. I want you to push towards the goal. You're gonna definitely reach there. Yes.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Keep going.
Yes.
It is possible. Young as you are, old as you are, your dreams are still valid. Work on yourself, work on your craft. Keep believing that what you have been set for is gonna happen, and don't stop at nothing. Make today count. Be in your presence. Like, make sure that you are forever present in each and everything that you're doing. And with that said, Melusi, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
You know, graduating, guys, is not really something to overlook. It means so much, because the journey itself, and me saying congratulations, honestly, this is like the cherry on top, because what I want to congratulate you on the process.
Yes.
Because I think that is the most important thing, the process that you pass through. That is the most amazing thing. If you can pass through trials and tribulations and be where you are and achieve whatever that you could achieve, it's because, you know, God has just shown his greatness in you. So I know I talk too much, so I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think we're done. Are we done?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you so much. It's been amazing. I love her so much. She's my baby girl. She's amazing. Just, you know, like I told her years ago that, you know what, I will always be by your side. And she just graduated. Look at us now. I am here with her. And the journey continues. So with that said, see you in the next live video. Do follow her on her platforms. Go and see her work. You can, you know, consult her in terms of designs. I'm okay with that. It's family. It's family. So if money goes to her, it's okay. It's safe. It's safe. Okay. Alright guys, much love and appreciation. Love you always. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I love you. Oh, okay, we're done.
Senyabala Nkosi okuhlo ngenzele kona. Senyabala Nkosi okuhlo ngenzele kona. Okay.
No, continue. No, please continue.
Okay, it's Senyabala Nkosi by Lungelo Hlongwane. It goes like this. Don't mind my voice. Listen to the lyrics. Senyabala Nkosi okuhle ngenzele kona. Namuhla ngiyamangala uthando onalo ngami.